This is Rugby Merlin and welcome back to the channel. So there's an upset coming, definitely this weekend. I can feel it in my bones. But in which match it's going to be, I'm not sure. So we're going to have a look at each match. All the teams have been announced now, so we can actually talk about the games with some confidence. And yeah, let's get into from least likely to most likely where the upset is going to come. Ireland, England has to be the least likely to produce an upset. Ireland are on such a rich vein of form at the moment. But I have to say that I was pretty impressed by Borthwick's selection for the game, considering his personality. The conservative guy, but yeah, I think he pushed as far as he could, like out of his comfort zone kind of thing. And he picked Chesham at 6. George Martin's in at second row. And yeah, I like that look. It indicates that they're going to attack the Irish line out. And Dan Sheehan, as great as a player he is, he needs help to run that line out effectively. And that's going to be a big kind of point of difference in the game. Of course, the line-up ball is always your best ball attacking from first phase. And it's going to be interesting to see how the lineup goes. Also, Borthwick has picked Fayo Abuso on the wing. Now, I doubted whether he would play because, as I mentioned in the previous video, he's still a student at the Exeter University, and he skipped like a week's training to do his medical exams. But that's how good he is. I think that he actually gets a slot in the starting lineup after missing a week's training, and that's pretty progressive from Borthwick, so you've got to give him credit for that. And finally, Marcus Smith is on the bench, so can't wait to see if he gets on. Hope he has a good run out, and I think he's the fly half going forward for England, but yeah, they can't rely on one player, so let's see if they can actually create something in this match. Ireland, on the other hand, not many changes, just one, I think, to the starting team. I think Keenan's back. Of course, he goes back. How can he not? He goes back in at fullback, and Fraley, he is back on the bench, and he did a good job, I think, in his last match, but Andy Farrell, he does have loyalty to players, and I do like that about him, because you've seen in various regimes, particularly Eddie Jones' regime with England, is that he just used and abused the players and didn't treat them with any respect. And I think it's a refreshing change of pace, and I think it suits the Irish mentality as well. There's a bit of loyalty to the players there, and like in the centre partnerships, we spoke about Ringrose coming back in, but not Henshaw's done the job, so he deserves his place. We'll get back to that a little bit later on when we come to the Wales-France match. So no upset. I don't think the favourites, who are Ireland, will win. I think in Twickenham, barring any miraculous kind of performance from England. But on to the next match, and that is Scotland, or I should say Italy are at home. So Italy versus Scotland. So as for Scotland, not a lot of changes there. Tuapoloto was injured, so Redbath comes in to partner Hugh Jones, who's storming Six Nations, and he's a player that goes from strength to strength. I can't say enough good things about him. The back three is still there intact, Stain Kinghorn and Van der Merwe, who had a hat-trick in the last match. So that's going to be very difficult for Italy to stop. But Italy do have a couple of people coming back into the team, and a debutant, Michael Lina's son, Lewis Lina. So it'll be interesting to see him play. And Monty Ioane and Capuzzo. So they are some players who can create something for Italy. So I think Scotland will be too strong for them in the end. Their attacking prowess will probably outmatch Italy, but I fully expect Italy to be in the match and for them to create with those players that they've got some magic, and particularly Monticello and Brex in the centre. That's a tasty centre partnership. So the Scottish boys are going to have to be on their toes there, and yeah, if they come away with a small victory in terms of points, they'll be very happy with it, because Italy, I think, are after blood this championship, and they're going to be fired up at home. So, but I just think Scotland have too much for them. And finally, so I went from least likely to most likely. This was, I had to like kind of play around with this in my mind and think about it quite a lot. And it's the Wales-France match. Wales are playing at home, number one, which is a big boost for them. Of course, France are on the skids at the moment, but there's still France, you know what I mean? But there's just little things that indicate that Wales might get the job done. At first, when the team was named, and Gatland has taken the South African stance of naming his team really early, I was really disappointed, because I thought the boys that played in Ireland, they played with such heart and such guts and determination, that I thought they deserved another crack. But no, Gatland made some changes, not like massive changes, but quite significant. And in the Welsh media, it was like shock team announcement by Gatland. So now it's becoming one of those things. I've had a few comments about when the Welsh public and the media are going to turn against Gatland, and I think this could be a turning point if it doesn't go well, because he switched out the centre partnership. He's brought in Joe Roberts and Owen Watkin. Switching out the entire partnership can like really affect the team, and a few other decisions around the park. But at first I thought it was Gatland trying to prolong this kind of honeymoon period that he's got. But knowing Gatland's like propensity for mind games, now I'm thinking it's a tactical ploy to lull the French into a false sense of security. So yeah, maybe it's my bias, but and maybe in Wales we have a bit of a Gatland fetish. We think, you know, he's like the be all and end all. But yeah, David Jenkins has been moved from the second row, and Will Rowland, so I thought has looked the part when he's come on. He's in the second. So they very much like England, they've got the three very tall and bulky second rows on the pitch, and that's interesting because France, on the other hand, they've had some players being basically kicked out of the side, like Woki has been kicked out. Galtier has let like 5 or 6 players go back to club rugby, and it seems like Galtier is like, he realizes that his time is up, and so he's going out with a flourish kind of thing, a very French way to do things. For a plus point for France is Aldrit is back. Ramos is playing at 10. Ramos, of course, plays excellently at 15, but can he do the job at 10? That's going to be a big ask. Dante is out in the centres. This is what made me think about like Gatland. Of course, he didn't know the selection, but he knew Dante was banned. So he's put like a very inexperienced international player in terms of Joe Roberts, but he's a fantastic talent, 23 years old, captain of the Scarlets. But he's paired him with Owen Watkin, who's very experienced for club and country, and I think maybe he's going to be looking to get an advantage there in the centres. And if Joe Roberts can get a bit of ball from the forward pack, he can do some damage, believe me. He's a very, very athletic, low centre of gravity kind of runner. Not the biggest guy in the world, but more of a Hugh Jones type. He'll have to prove that, obviously, but yeah, it's very interesting to see how that's going to go. Gatland has brought Ryan Elias back into the hooker position. That's quite controversial because his throwing in hasn't been the best. He needs a good game. And Alex Manu, I think, has played phenomenally for a youngster. this tournament. I was disappointed initially, but then I saw he's on the bench, so he's gonna get a chance, an opportunity to come on and do what he did against Ireland, which I thought he was fantastic in defence. Gatland has framed this as giving opportunity to players to prove their worth, kind of thing. But I really think it's more of a tactical decision in terms of the players he's picked. And France are going to have a tough game, I think. This is the one I picked for the upset. Now, France are not the best, but it's still France, as I said earlier. And if Wales can turn them over, it's going to be a huge moment for them. Their first win in the Six Nations tournament, and it will really set these youngsters, these young boys in good stead for the future. So that's my prediction. Favourites to win England and Ireland. Favourites to win Italy, Scotland, and then Wales to get an upset against France up there in Cardiff. So what do you think about it? Let me know. I definitely feel like there's an upset coming. How do you feel about this weekend's matches? It's going to be very exciting. I can't wait to watch them live, and it's going to be a great weekend. So thank you very much for listening. If you made it this far, like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.